What's going on, family? It's the Lucky Libra in the building, the Hood's Guru, the Hood's Pastor, Saturn's favorite, all right? And I appreciate y'all tapping in with the congregation today, okay? I appreciate all the likes, the shares, the subscrizzles, gang. I've been really humbled lately just seeing a lot of the comments you guys are leaving and seeing how much you guys appreciate the insight and the readings and all the collective readings, and how I'm seeing you guys are being able to use that to help navigate this human experience, because we're spirits having a human experience. All right, so guys, I appreciate y'all as much as I believe y'all appreciate me. All right, guys, and if you'd like to dive deeper, tap into the Patreon. If you'd like to connect with the Lucky Libra on a one-on-one level, hit the website, gang. All right, I've rearranged services, I've rearranged my checkout process and everything, so y'all might want to go over there, tap in, all right, to the platform and see what's available. Maybe you see something that resonates with you, and we can see what's going on with them energies in 2024, in the year of the 8. But as y'all can see by the title, 3 things that we must understand, okay, when it comes into Uranus going direct, guys. All right, so I'm gonna make this clear cut and simple. When it comes into retrograde influence, guys, remember the retrograde process is the grace process. This is our time to study, do homework. And when a planet goes direct, I like to associate the word application with the direct process. Okay, so we better know that when a planet goes direct, this is our time to be challenged, to be tested, because we just got out of a phase where we were doing the homework. All right, guys, so when pop-up quiz come, we can't be like, come on, did you ain't let us notice that? No, we've been doing homework on this for a couple of weeks now. All right, if you're doing your homework, y'all remember back in the days that we get mad about them pop quizzes because we ain't really been doing our homework like that. We don't know what we about to put on this test. All right, you just got to circle B and keep it moving, y'all. Circle B and keep it moving. All right? But family, direct process, application process. Okay, guys, so it's just a couple of things I want us to understand as to what's been going on in this house, so we have clarity moving on with this Uranus movement, which is such a significant transit this year. And let's get right into it. Now, first of all, Uranus went retrograde last year, 2023, at August 28th, guys. Okay, so I want everybody to reflect back, to that late summer, early fall time, Virgo season, and then understand that's the time frame we were working with, in your Taurus house, from that point all the way up until now. And we were going through all these different revisions as Uranus was retrograde. So that's the time frame we're working with, okay? I want y'all to be able to use that space to recollect and reflect on a lot of the things we're going to be talking about. And the reason why I want everybody to understand how to move with Uranus right now, because like I said, I believe Uranus is one of the most pivotal energies that we're dealing with in the year of the 8th, all right, in 2024. And what I believe is the biggest transit of the year is the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, which is manifesting, all right, on April 20th. So we got a good little amount of time to work with Uranus energy if we're behind the curve, all right, to build some momentum, because I believe this is going to be a time where a lot of us, excuse me, guys, I believe this is going to be a time where a lot of us are going to see a lot of spiritual breakthroughs, financial breakthroughs, okay? But the more we work with Uranus energy, the more we can work with Jupiter and Taurus too, that's going to help us to fall into the fruits of our labors and fall into certain opportunities and have certain revelations and downloads manifest in our life around this time. So I just want to make sure we're on point with Uranus energy in general, leading up into that space, family, all right? We got to be ahead of the curve, never behind. So let's get into these 3 themes. 1, all right, guys, Uranus has been trining Neptune this whole time. This whole time Uranus has been retrograde, it's been harmonizing with Neptune in Pisces. Okay, excuse me, not in a trine, in a sextile. It's been harmonizing with Neptune in a sextile. We know sextiles are harmonious alignments, 60 degrees, all right, 2 signs away. And this has been helping us to take control in our lives, utilizing spirituality and a healthy form of wellness. All right, seeing how our imagination can be utilized in real time to transform our reality. So we got Uranus that really emphasizes and highlights that influence of our originality, what separates us from the pack. This is why we go through a lot of power and control situations in the house that we have Uranus in, and in the house you have Taurus in your chart, because we go through certain lessons that's pushing us to stand on our 10 toes, stand on our own, sense of individuality, on our own abilities to be a free thinker, an individual thinker. And when we do that, we can come off a little opposing, we can come off a little rebellious, but that's Uranus's nature. So when we run from opportunities, to let our individuality be established in whatever environment that you, once again, that you may have Taurus in your chart, or even just looking at your natal Uranus placement. That's when we could run into a lot of intense power and controlling situations. This is when we run into situations where bullies can just take advantage of us. Maybe it's a bully in the workspace. Maybe it's a bully in your own relationship. Maybe it's a bully, in your friendship. Maybe it's a bully, in the home environment. But the bully will arrive, and that adversary that's pushing us to be an individual, right, and rebel for our own personal ideology about something, our own personal belief about something, our own personal aspiration about something, it's gonna manifest. All right, guys. But with all of that being said, while Uranus is going through that motion, that retrograde motion, it's been harmonizing with Neptune. So when we talk about Neptune with that sense of, imagination, we're being able to expand on the imagination and understand that can be used. This doesn't have to be something we just bask in and we just see the potential energy, right? So understand, all the way back from that late August space up until now, guys, I need y'all to understand what type of things you've been daydreaming about, what type of things you've been coming into awareness about with your creative gifts, with your creative awareness, with your healing properties that you realize you haven't been utilizing to help you gain more control in this reality. All right? Whether it's things that you're noticing that you have certain awareness about, because we know Pisces dealing with our creative awareness, our spiritual awareness, right? And we're talking about Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so it doesn't get more. That's the embodiment of that energy right now. So this whole time we've been learning how to, detach from things to learn how to heal. So hopefully we've been identifying what people, places, and things been a burden to us from a mental, emotional well-being point of view, but also, most importantly, looking at the things that's just floating in our imagination from a creative space, and not just looking at these things as something that is just floating in our subconscious. Looking at these things like, no, that's a creative idea I can actually use. All right. Everything we look at, family, started with somebody's idea. This iPhone, this jersey I'm wearing, all right, this platform that I'm uploading this video to, it started with somebody's idea. So I believe with Neptune being in the mix with Uranus while it's retrograde, all of these things were starting to resurface. And I don't want these ideas to go over your head when it comes into understanding how you could use creativity as a tool. Our imagination is one of the biggest tools that we have being in this experience in general, family. So don't sleep on none of those things. Uranus and Taurus is already highlighting how we could use our values in order to gain some stability and security, but being able to embrace how our values may be different from others, right? Our gifts, the things we're good at, our talents, it may be different from others, and we don't need to follow the pack in order to establish things in our life. We could do it from an individual space, and Uranus also carries into, community energy as well. We know it's home in that 11th house. So standing and expressing and embracing our own sense of individuality when it comes into the things that we're good at, our traits, where we see our value, is what's going to help manifest opportunities in our life, especially when it comes into building stability. All right. So Neptune has been all day, all up in Uranus' ear. Like, look, man, use this creativity, man. Look, man, have faith. And another thing about that Pisces energy like to take a risk. Pisces energy, it likes to jump. It likes to jump. All right, it's going to take that leap of faith. And Uranus is already built for that. Uranus is already built for risk. Uranus is already courageous. So you see where I'm going with this influence, guys? All right, family. That was note number one. Number two. Guys, have you been able to detect attachments with the material world and your pleasures? Let that sizzle real quick. Let that marinate real quick. Guys, we know Taurus is the sign dealing with materialism. We know Taurus is the sign dealing with, possessions, monetary gains, finances. So while Uranus is retrograde, it's helping us to understand what things have power over us that's taking us away from being able to build stability and security. But that also starts resulting in us understanding what attachments we have with things in the material realm. Is it hard for us to meet our goals with our savings because of our spending habits? Is our, our crave to please the flesh and make sure we are connected to our pleasures in some type of shape or form what is leading us to having poor spending habits, managing our finances the wrong way, in an immature way? So that's really big right there, because Taurus got to go ahead and experience his pleasures here. What is an experience if Taurus don't get to really indulge, into the materialism of the physical realm? And we all have a second house. We all have Taurus somewhere in the chart. So that shows you it's a part of life. I ain't saying there's not a time to, go ahead, kick your feet up, grab a drink, and grab your favorite snack. All right, family, get a little Netflix and chill. Hit a little rooftop bar. You feel me? Taurus is all up in that. So there's a time and place for everything, family. But Uranus does not like having influences have power over it. So while Uranus was retrograde, these are the things that we were supposed to be recollecting on the whole fall, winter time leading up until now. What things do I look at as pleasurable, person, place, or thing, or am I placing a lot of value into that makes me feel good that ain't really good for me? This is why as Uranus goes direct, some of these things may intensify if we haven't, been able to identify these people, places, and things and start to detach, fall back, and disassociate with these different elements, whatever they may be. Once again, check that Taurus house, family. Okay, so that's very important right there. And that's number 2. And lastly, guys, have you been able to refine or better yet reinvent what form of value you are intentional about giving to the world? All right, that's pretty much, that speaks for itself right there, family. That speaks for itself. Taurus is the sign that rules our values. Point blank, period. What talent, what value do we have to give to the world? What do I believe I'm good with? I'm at least above average with, that I can service out into the world, that I could use to build structure, something. I like to call Taurus in the second house, the garden, because this is where we understand where our values at, and then we plant them. We plant our seeds, all right? And we want these things to grow in a timely manner. You don't play with the garden. You plant a seed, you come out as a diligent, gradual, patient process. You water, you can't overwater your plants, all right? You let it get its sunlight, you come back to it, you talk to it, you talk some life into your plants, all right? And you take your time with the process, seeing the things that you want to come into fruition with our potential energy, AKA also with the things that we feel like we're good with. So family, depending on where you have Taurus at in your chart, it was no running from it. We all manifested. It was inevitable in some type of shape or form. If we haven't identified what these things are in our life, as far as our talents, traits, what we're good at, trust me, it happened. It happened. I'm just saying this so you don't overthink anything, family. A person, place, or thing, or a situation, or a conversation, or a natural download, or you just being in a state of reflection was trying to enforce, highlight that you're good with this. Don't you see the value in this? Don't you see how the world will value this if you push it out or allow yourself to use this as something to build? Don't you see how you can help others with this? Guys, whatever that may be, you can't overthink it, all right? So if you have Taurus in the Earth house, you were reflecting on things dealing with your creative awareness. All right, maybe it was something dealing with your expression in some type of shape or form. Your visions, there was a lot of reflection going on with different visions and creative ideas. Okay, so you can't let these things go over your head, especially if you manifested, right? Conversations, circumstances to reinforce that you are good with this. And I think this would be a great value to plant a seed in. If you have Taurus in the Earth house, it may be something that you really are gifted in understanding how to use to build, properties surrounding, building, managing, structuring things. You may have a lot of value that you're able to bring into the world to help people manage things, maybe help them manage their diet. Maybe you already know how to help people manage their finances and you want to be more an example for that. Helping, that manage word is huge. That manage word is huge when we're talking about the earth signs and earth element, okay? And these may be things that you start realizing that you have value in with yourself, and you can help others, gain a sense of management in their life from you in some type of shape or form. Definitely a lot of things being transformed with you guys navigating career in general, for real. All right. Earth signs, Taurus in the air houses. Taurus in the air houses. It may be things dealing with your experience with relationships. Your experience dealing with relationships, connecting with people, or even certain resources and contexts that you have that can be utilized in order to help build something you're passionate about, build something that you have aspirations with. All right. This was also a time where you were supposed to understand how your partnerships in some type of shape or form either complement or take away, from the things that you're invested in from trying to build. Maybe you have a personal aspiration. Maybe you're coming into a chapter or path in your life where you're starting to, hone in on certain concepts and beliefs, but it's a real individual thing. It's not really something easy to relate to others. So now you had to kind of navigate how this process, this chapter of evolution in your life is, correlating with your partnerships in general. Okay, and I tell you guys all the time, that doesn't mean we have to just cut off our whole family, cut off all of our friends, this, that, and the third, because we going through a certain process, because we blossoming from the caterpillar into a butterfly. I don't mean we gotta cut everybody else off. We got to be able to honor other people's paths in life. All right, guys. So that's very important to understand with Taurus in them air houses. And then lastly, if you had Taurus in the water houses, gang, there was a lot of things you were recollecting and reflecting on when it comes into understanding, not just the healing properties you have, but what things you have awareness of that you need to continue to exercise, continue to build more experience, establishing and applying in your life in order to gain more of a sense of, a stable emotional, mental well-being. So many of us, and I believe all of us, I really want to say all of us, because I believe everybody that's tuned into this, you're already spiritually inclined, having your attention and your spirit gravitate towards this type of, this type of video, this type of topic. And when we feeling unstable, guys, I believe we're all intuitive enough to understand what most likely are the things that have us feeling a little funny money inside of feeling unstable, whether it's a circumstance with a relationship, whether we probably are not pouring love into ourselves, we're not disciplining ourselves in some type of shape or form, right? We're not honoring, a sense of self-development in our life. Whatever it may be, guys, maybe we're allowing ourselves to stay in a situation where we're not appreciated. It could be a work situation, a partnership in some type of shape or form. Whatever it may be, our spirit, when you're really in tune, our spirit is able to help us tap into, certain gut instincts and feelings to let us know this is what it is. And you need to either detach from that, or you need to establish this presence in this area to improve how you feel, to feel more stable inside, guys. So if you have Taurus in the water houses, I truly believe this is what you guys were reflecting and recollecting about. Whether it was a person, place, or thing, if it was a heavy emotional burden on you, right? If it's something that you carry in your subconscious and it was time to detox and filter that out, this was the time for you to understand these things. All right. So if you was questioning that a partner, that a job, a partner, or a job that you're working, or something that you're emotionally invested in some type of shape or form, or it could be something that already happened because water deals with the past. So it could be things that happened already, and you're holding that insecurity about something that didn't manifest the right way. You're holding that, and Uranus went retrograde to help you, let go of that. All right. It's hard to claim your power in the world when you got, all that resistance on your back, all that weight, dead weight you're carrying from a situation you haven't let go and detached yourself from. So Uranus, it could have simply been that. All right, guys. So guys, I know I say guys a lot. Sorry, y'all, but y'all my guys. All right, I'm from New York. What's good, my guy? Okay, so I hope all is well with everybody, sending love and healing vibrations. All right, per usual, gang. Once again, I appreciate all the likes, shares, and subscribbles. That Uranus and Jupiter conjunction, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm trying to get everybody to stay in the present and continue to build that momentum, channeling positive Uranus energy in our lives leading up into that time. All right, listen, guys, y'all know I'll be ready to hear them testimonies from my congregation now. All right, gang. I'm up out of here. Peace.